just click off the top menu called My Journey. So just click there, and so you get this dashboard. That's what I like to call it. And in the dashboard, you'll see that I've logged in. That's how I know. And you'll also see the amount of notes that you have. Do you notice I have like no journal entries? This last night when I was looking at this, that's the reason, is because I don't want it tied to notes. I want my notes tied to that, but I want my journal not to be. And our software programmer said, duh. So, okay, so fortunately Mary didn't know it either. So if you ever want to delete a note for whatever reason, you can do that right there. There's a toolbar down there. And so if you want to create a record, it's pretty much similar as the way we did it before. So you'd create a note, a journal, or a prayer, and you would click it here. This is, if you did a prayer and you wanted to share it into your groups, that's a really nice thing to do too. So here it is, and you'll see that there's no scripture there. It's just plain note, and then you can tag it like we did before. So we also have the community and social media. So the exciting part about it is you can go to, the whole purpose of it is community. So you can share with friends, you can ask questions, and it's not like an immediate response type of thing where depending on who's watching, you could have an immediate response, but be patient. We're putting out info for people. And again, the idea, like we said last night, is to create a company of believers wanting to live a praiseworthy life. Now, the next thing is about community. We're just going to dig into this menu a little bit. So let's say I want to drop down to the public wall and groups and friends and blog. So right here is what it would look like if you were going to do a post on the public wall. And it's similar to Facebook, a very primitive Facebook on purpose. So choose who you would like to see it, and this is the menu. So you could have it public, you could have it only just your friends, or just you. And the only me is not Rick, it just is only, it's you. I have to pay these people to laugh. He's not even. All right. So you can heart if you like it. You can make a comment. You can go over to the groups with it, and you can flag it. So here's the groups, and you can invite people. And just recently, well, I have the groups there, and you can invite people in the groups. So the purpose is to communicate and train. So the groups are for discipling, training, community, and churches can set up independent groups, and it's easy to use, and you can communicate with it. And I've mentioned that a few times in here. So inside of these groups, this is our life group, and a friend of Baruch's has Hope Builders. And then Love Israel has their group. So feel free to jump in there if you have any questions. And then if you have friends, I'm so glad that Jeremy and his wife sat right up in the front, because now I can pick on them because they were so kind to put their picture on. And we just went through this process, so I'm very glad that you were doing that, because we were making software improvements for that. So thank you very much. And again, I mentioned the app. Now remember, Apple has dropped, so you can get your app off of for Apple, but the Droid is still coming. And I guess there's an app store for Amazon too, I guess. I didn't know that. So there you have that. And so this is the first looks of the app. And so right at the very top, you'll have the Bible Study Company. And what's interesting about that is it goes straight out to Bible study. So you can log in like you normally do and use all the features just like you would on your phone. So the next thing is, if you go down to the home button, I want to pull that bottom of the app up so you can see it. And on there, there's an offline Bible. So if you don't want to use data, now it doesn't have Strong's attached to it, but it is the ESV, the English Standard, which is a very good translation as well. And that's what it looks like. So you'll see the Bible right there. And the next part of it is there's reading plans that go along with it, which we think are really nice. And so if you didn't have a normal reading plan, you could use one of those. Believe it or not, we have a lot of people that ask us for reading plans. So then if you want, you can support BSC there. And that's what it looks like right there. And then our events. Now, the interesting thing about supporting BSC, you're actually supporting it to help us keep it free. The only people in the entire company is Mary and me. Okay? So we're trying, as you can tell by me running around here, and so we're trying to keep it free. So, and that's the end of pretty much the demonstrations that I have. Baruch is going to be talking, and then we'll have a close. I think what I'll let him do is, you have two scriptures that you want to do, right? Ezekiel and Matthew, right? Matthew for sure. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to let him go forward, and then I'll just end with just a closing slide. So, Baruch, we have to switch stuff out for you, and